So for the third video in this combo drive, we're talking about the different engines that you can play. So there's two routes that people are now using in the Fiendsmith Ryzeal deck. They're either continuing with cards like Duo Drive, Node and Cross, or people have now started to move on to Bystials. So Bystials are great for the mirror match because you can stop your opponent's engravers. A lot of builds are only still playing one of the Requiem. So if you can hit the Requiem out of the graveyard when they use the effect and summon Lacrima, when Lacrima sends Engraver at resolution, you banish the Requiem, which can screw over a lot of decks. And a lot of Malice players are also starting to play the Fiendsmith engine, and their extra deck is way too tight to be playing two Requiem. That cuts them from that line completely, and it allows you to have an instant advantage. You also gain the advantage against Malice that Branded Regained lets you put back their Exceeds, so that they can no longer use the Revival Trap to bring them back. There's also the fact that Duo Drive leaves you a lot more vulnerable to things like Veiler and Imperm, whereas if you're ending on Regained Bystials in hand, yeah, they can Imperm your Detonator, but you still have the Fiendsmith negates with either Caesar or Desiree, and you also have a lot more hand trap interaction, and it allows you to play a lot more into other board states. It's also the fact that your extra deck's a lot less tight, which allows you to play more cards. Like, I've been able to fit Dweller back into my deck now that I'm playing the Bystial package over the Fiendsmith package. Sorry, not the Fiendsmith package, the Bystial package over the Ryzeal package of Duo Drive, Node and Cross. Also, Cross is a massive magnet to cards like Lightning Storm and Duster, whereas some people side in Duster and Lightning Storm against Ryzeal because if you hit the field spell, that's one straightway card out, and it's a card that plays with Thrust. So it's better to have cards like that do multiple options. There's also a lot of further combo extension that you can do with the Bystials, whereas if you open a Bystial and Fiendsmith, you can go into things like Little Knight, as well as your Fiendsmith engine, and it's a lot more variety, so you don't get locked into cards as often. Lets you play through more boards and lets you extend into more boards. As well as, it means you do have to play Moon in the extra deck as well. But I feel like being able to play Moon, Little Knight and Dweller over the fact that sometimes your Duo Drive gets to resolve is a very big important place. Also lets you play a few more cards, like I believe I'm now playing 42 in the main, and it feels a lot more consistent because you're allowed to play Bystials as engine but also as non-engine. And the Bull Drake is also a really strong option right now, because if you have Bull Drake on the field and they try to make Detonator, obviously that clears, Bull Drake clears the Detonator, so it's good in the mirror match. It's also good in the mirror match because you're playing more interrupts into Detonator, because you're also playing Druid Swarm as well. And Druid Swarm, again, all the Bystials pretty much have a great matchup into Pure, which is even better because Druid Swarm obviously completely breaks the Ryzeal Pure build, forces them to use Cross, and then end on a subpar board where they only have the 3 pops, and then you can play through that, as well as your non-engine being able to play through that. I believe right now it's probably better to be playing a Bystial version and just focus more on extending and that than it is to go on your main Ryzeal board. You're using your Ryzeal cards more as an engine, a small compact engine, over the fact that you're using them as a deck. The deck is more a Fiendsmith Bystial pile now, but I believe that that is more concerning and better for the current format than focusing on the Ryzeal cards, where the Ryzeal cards aren't even that really impactful, so you are better off going with the Bystial line. But again, this is all down to personal preference. If you believe that you would rather play the Node, the Cross, and then play lower impact hand traps like Veiler, that is also an option for you all.